What's good, Wizards fans? It's your host, the real Ed Oliver and Brandon Scott. We are back from the Thanksgiving break. Hope everybody had a good holiday. We're going to recap the Wizards versus Bucks and Hawks game and also preview the next game on Monday. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to PrizePicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use code all lowercase LockedOnNBA for a first-time deposit match up to $100. All right, so the Washington Wizards, they play the Milwaukee Bucks. We're gonna do the Bucks game first, the in-season tournament game. The Wizards are now 2-14. They are on a losing streak. I've already lost count of how many games they lost in a row. I want to say it's like 9 or something like that.
9.
Yeah, it's 9. So they lost to the Bucks on Friday, and then on Saturday they had to fly back to DC. They were saying that they didn't get off the plane, or they landed and touched down at about 3 a.m. So that is tough, having a back-to-back. Not making any excuses, but that is challenging. They had to play the Hawks the following night. But so let's start off with the Bucks game. It was a better showing, lost by 3. They legitimately had a chance to win that game. But Brandon, what was your thoughts about that game, and where did it go wrong? And what are your thoughts about Jordan Poole focusing on the huddle now?
I guess we'll start with the positives, man. I thought this was a good showing by Tyus Jones. It's probably his best game of the year. Looking at his stat line, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 9 for 14 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3 with a steal. This was arguably his best game of the year, so it's good to see this performance with him, especially going against a point guard like Dame Lillard. Jordan Poole had a pretty good game. Now, obviously, efficiency, especially from three-point. He only shot 1 for 6 from three-point, but 9 for 20 ain't too shabby. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. And Kyle Kuzma does what he usually does, 20-plus points. Again, kind of an off-shooting night, especially, you took a hit with efficiency, shooting only 9 for 22, but 22 points contributed. But Deni Avdija had a very underwhelming game. 2 points, shooting only 1 for 6, but he did contribute in other ways. 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So, that's definitely what I want to see from Deni. When the shot's not dropping, definitely contribute in other ways. And, he's obviously always in there with rebounds, but it's good to see the assist numbers around 5. And then Gaff, 8 points, 9 rebounds. Kind of your average showing from Gaff. Around 10 points, around 10 rebounds, but 5 fouls. Same thing with Jordan Poole. Fouls were an issue for both of them. But looking at the first unit, man, I thought they played well. Like I said, the worst part of this first unit was Deni Avdija, and he found other ways to contribute. So Tyus looked solid. Jordan Poole, and I get into him being focused and being ready to rock. It's good to see. It's good to see him trying to take things a lot more serious. Now, the sample size is small. It's been a week, since he threw the towel, but I'm a believer, man. I want to see him succeed. He has his goofy moments, and we're hard on him because look, that's the thing about me and you. Look, we give anybody the smoke, man. If you need to play better, we definitely give you the smoke, and he, deservedly so. He has been criticized, but it's good to see him focused, ready to roll. Really looking at the plays. Love to see that, man. But yeah, what contributed to the loss? I think the lack of the ability for Wes Unseld Jr. to call a play in clutch is puzzling, because the fact that he went for a 2 and not a 3 is just like, is he drawing any plays up? Like you continue to see like mishaps in clutch moments, whether it's Kyle Kuzma stepping on the line or here and there. It doesn't seem like there really is a play or really any kind of focus when it comes to clutch time. And I think that was a mishap that could have extended the game at least to overtime or maybe won us the game, man. So, it's a mishap that can't happen. And I'm looking at coaching again, clutch moments, man, you got to have something drawn up. And I don't, it just seems like there's a lot of confusion in clutch time. So, but overall, man, this was one of the better showings this season, especially against a perennial contending team. This is the type of performance you want to see, win, loss, we're going to lose a lot more than we win, but you want to see them play hard, and they played hard against a team that, in the eyes of many people, are championship contenders. So, yeah, it was a good showing overall. The clutch moment was questionable, but I felt like this team really played well overall. And, oh, yeah, I forgot the bench, man. Kispert, 20 points. So 7 for 12, 6 for 10 from 3. So Kispert does what he does best, shooting 3-point shot. He had a better showing against the Bucks. And Landry Shamet, 15 points, 6 for 11 from the field. He continues to boost that trade value, which is, I definitely appreciate that, man. So, because he's definitely going to get us, his value is definitely going up. So it's definitely something that we want from him. But overall, really good team game. Just clutch time was questionable.
Yeah, definitely. Shamet played well. He dunked on Giannis on one play as well. But if you let Brook Lopez, put up 39 points on you, you deserve to lose. And no disrespect to Brook Lopez, I think he's a fine player. He's a championship, championship player. He's won a championship with the Bucks and contributed really, really well to that team. But allowing him to have 39 points is ridiculous. As far as the end of the game, like you talked about, the clutch situations and decision making. Once again, Kyle Kuzma takes a wild 3-point shot at the end of the game. It's kind of like, what plays is West really drawn up? Now, they had a good play to Shamet, but he airballed, and Jordan Poole wasn't in the game. It was a sideline play where we're down by 3, I want to say, and Shamet airballed the 3. That was a good play call by West, and he got Shamet wide open. He missed that. And then to your point, too, about Kuzma taking the 2 instead of a 3, that was an odd decision. I get what Kuz was doing because we did end up getting the ball back and we still had an opportunity to tie it. It's because, he just wanted to take the 2 instead of taking the 3. You already get the automatic points. They were down by 1. They go down, they had to shoot free throws. Maybe they miss a free throw. You get the ball back, and then you're able to either tie it or take the lead. So I understand what he was trying to do with the 2-pointer. Would you rather him taking a 3? It's kind of a coin flip there, but I understand that difference right there for sure. But overall, I thought they played well. Yeah, like you said, Tyus, that was his best game by far this season. He plays really well against the Bucks. He had a good game against the Bucks the last time. He had 22 points. Jordan Poole looks more locked in. He's more focused, less Shaq in the full moments. He's paying attention to the clipboard. He's paying attention to West. He's laser focused. He's locked in. No pun intended there. So I love seeing that from him. It looks like, now he's scoring more. Now he's more focused. I do want to say that if he's having a bad game, I want him to keep that same energy and that same focus. Even if he's putting up 10 points compared to 26 or 30 points, I want him to have that same focus. Kuzma, I thought he played solid other than the late game decision making. Once again, it's just like, we know he's a clutch player, but lately in the clutch, he's taking us some really, really wild shots. Gafford, he put up some effort, but once again, he let the other big dominate against him. Brook Lopez did whatever he felt like doing in the paint. And Gallo, 7 points. Corey Kispert, 6 threes. He played well, 20 points off the bench. Shamet played well off the bench too, provided a spark, provided some energy. And Johnny Davis got some minutes, 12 minutes, 2 for 4 from the field, 5 rebounds, 6 points. I thought he played with some effort. He did miss an alley-oop down the stretch, which was big. I thought he probably should have just laid it up instead of trying to. But, he's athletic enough to the point where he should be dunking the ball too. But I thought that hurt us down the stretch too. Denny did not have his best game, 2 points, 1 for 6, 5 boards, 5 assists. And he did not finish the game either. Shamet was the guy that finished the game. And Jordan Poole was out of the lineup at times, but Shamet finished it, and Denny did not finish the game. And that was a decision by Wes Unseld Jr. there. Because Shamet had the hot hand. So, you're playing a player that's hot. Shamet keeps playing like this. It's like you kind of have to play him before the trade deadline, get his value up. If he's going to knock down threes and get to the basket, you might as well give him as much playing time. 24 minutes, I think that's about right for Shamet there. But it was a winnable game, man. I like the way they play with the effort. Of course, the defense is not good, giving up 131 points. Damian Lillard got to the basket whenever he felt like it. Brook Lopez, 14 for 17, no resistance at all. Giannis, 31 points, 11 for 19. So we gave up 3 guys for the Bucks had 30 points. And other than that, guys didn't really score. Like Bobby Portis only had 2 points. Campaign 4 points. Nobody else really scored for the Bucks except for those 3 guys. And Chris Middleton got injured, so he left the game in the middle of the game. He only played 13 minutes. But overall, this was probably one of their better games. It wasn't waving the white flag with 8 minutes to go. Thought they played hard. I thought there were some positives that came out of the loss.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I hate the term moral victory, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? But this was definitely one of the better games we played this year. And the fact that it was against the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Bucks are a contender, Yeah, I love to see from this team because, like I said, it's one thing to lose, but to lose while trying, the big difference between getting blown out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I want to see this type of effort, because that's culture. And the biggest thing year one of a rebuild is building that culture. And culture is what? Effort. Playing the right way. And playing the right way is playing competitively. Playing 100%. And that's what I want to see from this team going forward, man. So it was a really impressive game. Again, looking at the trade guys, Tyus Jones, and Landry Shamet, man, they definitely boosted their trade value because Shamet, man, I was guilty with saying that he was mostly a sharpshooter, but man, he got some hops. I mean, this is what a couple of games already where he's dunking on folks, so he's definitely boosting his trade value. Somebody's going to definitely need that type of guy to come off the bench for a contender, and same thing with Tyus, man. Somebody's going to need a guy to lead a second unit. A playoff team's going to need that, so it's a good sign for a lot of these guys that we're trying to flip because their value is going up. Now, looking at Johnny Davis, he got more minutes, but the biggest statistic looking at him is rebounding because I think that you definitely I get it. You're not going to get too many minutes for him till after the deadline, but his rebounding and his defense, I think deserves him to at least get consistent minutes to see what he can do in the second half of the season, man. So Johnny Davis looked decent. We get in there as a guard rebounding. So overall, this was a good performance. So I know we're moving on to the next one. So definitely looking at this one as a positive step. So
right. All right, we're going to move on to the Hawks game. Before we do that, today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. With basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports or leagues. For example, LeBron James plus Travis Kelce at 10.5 combo of 3-pointers made plus receptions. Want to play alongside some of PrizePicks' favorite players like rapper Meek Mill and comedian Andrew Schultz? You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the PrizePicks community each week. PrizePicks even offers a reboot policy. Tell that your entries stay in play even if one of your players get injured for football and basketball games. If you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player is rebooted. PrizePicks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. This week, I did hit on Thanksgiving. Brandon Cooks, unfortunately for the Cowboys, went over 37.5 receiving yards on the Commanders very, very easily. And they also give discounts. They gave a discount for Christian McCaffrey to get over a half a yard. And he easily did that with just getting 1 yard. So PrizePicks, definitely, they give out discounts like that. So make sure you guys check out PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA and use code LockedOnNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. Would give you a pick for tomorrow. I'd probably take Tyus Jones over on points, even though he had a bad game yesterday. I'll take the points over on his points because the Pistons are terrible, terrible defensively, and they really struggle to guard point guards as well. All right, so let's move on to the opposite of the Bucks game. The Wizards got blown out by the Atlanta Hawks, 136-108. What were your thoughts on that game, and where did they go wrong?
I think the question is, where did they go right?
Right.
This was a bad show, man. When your top scorer for the Wizards is Jared Butler at 13 points, that tells you a little bit about how bad it was, man. Looking at the first unit, I mean, Kyle Kuzma 12 points, 4 for 10, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, but just obviously wasn't his best showing. Tyus Jones, 4 points. Kispert, he started because Jordan Poole with the ankle injury, he started, provided 27 minutes, 10 points, but really bad shooting night for him. 3 for 14 from the field overall and 1 for 10 from 3. So, that seems to be the MO with Corey Kispert, where when his shots dropping, he's on point. You see a lot of shots dropping, but when he's off, he is way off. But I mean, he wasn't the only one with this team, man. I mean, Gafford, I guess you could say, played decent. 18 minutes. Fouls weren't an issue. He only had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 6 for 8 for the field, and 2 blocks. But I guess we could slide to the second unit, and Anthony Gill had 10 points, Jared Butler 13, Shamet 12. It just many things went wrong. It's just, I think the biggest thing was obviously rebounding. If we tell the tape, they out rebounded us 56-45, and they got 17 offensive rebounds. So that seems to be the issue 99% of the times is we get out rebounded, man. We're just a really abysmal rebounding team. But they have shooters, outside of Trae Young, they have shooters in the show because they shot 48.6% from three as opposed to 26.3 from the Wizards. So they cooked us in the paint. They cooked us on the perimeter. And this, we talk about effort with the Bucks, and it was lovely. But then we revert right back to the bad habits, which is the inability to defend the perimeter and rebounding. Just, the offensive rebounds, man, are killing us because we're extending possessions for other teams. And even when we get a solid, position to get a rebound, boom, they get an offensive rebound and then they end up getting a point. So it's frustrating to watch. And it just highlighted all the bad habits that we have on the team. Rebounding, bad rotations. So, yeah, I can't really look at one thing and say it contributed because it's like night and day, yin and yang. You can say that almost everything went right with the Bucks game and almost everything went wrong with the Hawks game. It was just one was just a best case scenario when it comes to team basketball, and the other one was the worst case scenario with team basketball. Whereas you know what I mean. So it just really bad team loss for this team, man. And it makes 9 in a row. So hopefully, we're gonna do a preview for the Pistons, man. They're just as bad as we are, but 9 losses in a row. So
right. So this one was really turnovers. Just looking at the turnovers, they had a bunch of turnovers in the first. They had 20 turnovers compared to the Hawks 10 turnovers. The Hawks had 27 turnovers points. They had 27 points off of turnovers. Final score of 136-108. So they clearly got blown out. You even look at the plus minus stat, which don't want to look too much into it, but Trae Young was a plus 40. Saddiq Bey was a plus 30. It was just crazy number stat wise. But Kuzma, he played point forward for most of the night. He made some good passes to Gafford for dunks, and then a lot of times he had some turnovers where he was getting plucked or ripped. And Jalen Johnson went down for a layup, and he injured Jalen Johnson on a fast break because Jalen Johnson stole the ball from him, went down. Bilal had 3 turnovers. He had a couple bad passes across the court. So it wasn't just Kyle Kuzma making bad plays and bad turnovers. Denny had 3 turnovers. Tyus Jones had 2 turnovers. Anthony Gill had 2 turnovers. So Jared Butler had 2 turnovers. So guys were just turning the ball over left and right. They looked like a team that just got off the plane. Like I said, I'm not making any excuses, but they were a little slow and lethargic at times. In the first half, they played it close. Then the second half, Trae Young went off. DeAndre Hunter had an easy 20. Saddiq Bey had an easy 13 out there. Saddiq Bey was he didn't shoot the ball. He was 6 for 14. Bogdanovich 6 for 9, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line, 15 points. So defensively, once again, they struggle. Capella, there was one play where Capella just had like 3 offensive rebounds on one play. Capella had a double-double in the third quarter. With a quarter still left to play, he got a double-double. So that was how easily he got a double-double. We got out-rebounded 49-41. So they dominated us on the glass. They had 17 offensive boards to our 8. So turnovers and rebounding was the tail of the tape there. And Jordan Poole was announced not able to play right before the game. It was interesting because they announced it 20 minutes before the game or 30 minutes before the game.
Yeah.
So I was I don't know if he got hurt in warmups. We'll see if he plays tomorrow night against the Pistons. He's questionable. So I did think that hurt. I think if he would have played, they still would have lost. But I do think it would have been closer than 28 points. I think it would have been a little bit closer than 28 for sure. They probably would have lost by 5 or 10 instead of 28. But yeah, just a bad showing. Kyle Kuzma as the point forward. It has its ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride. But last night it just didn't look good. Like I said, it wasn't all his fault. The whole team was turning the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's the same issues every time. It's either rebounding or perimeter defense, but turnovers continue to be an issue also. Is like I said, this weekend is, if you look at the Bucks game, it was the best case scenario because you saw a good team game as opposed to the Hawks where it's just like, wow, I mean, they're not working together at all. So, excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I mean, they didn't look good at all. They the second half they looked like they had sea legs, and they weren't ready to play. Where the Hawks came out fresh, and the Hawks they are the better team, but they got to cut down on turnovers. But we're gonna get to a quick word from FanDuel. and then we're going to hop into some comments and do a preview. But make sure you guys check out FanDuel. As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/locked-on and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, so we're going to get to some comments here, but just looking at the Pistons, this is a game where the Wizards, they do have a chance to win this game. They have a puncher's chance. They're looking at a team that is 2-14, just like themselves. The Pistons are 14th in the Eastern Conference. Just looking at some numbers here, defensively, just looking at defensive rating, the Pistons are 24th in defensive rating. They're 26th in offensive rating, so they're pretty darn bad in both categories there. Let's see here. In points scored, they're 25th. And they allow teams to get to the free throw line a lot. And free throw attempts allowed, they're dead last in the league. Free throws allowed, they're dead last in that. So guys get to the free throw line a lot against the Detroit Pistons. They turn the ball over they're 29th in turnovers, so they're second to last in turnovers. They turn the ball over a lot. They're also 30th in steals, so they don't get a lot of steals and deflections at all. So they're a bad defensive team. They're a bad offensive team. They're just a bad overall team. But they do have some young talent. I will say that. But what's your keys to improvement or development tomorrow night against the Detroit Pistons?
Number one, culture, man. Work. You try to win this game. This is definitely a winnable game, man. I mean, this team is just as bad as we are. So I mean, they got a lot of young guys. Cunningham. Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey's minutes are going back up, but I definitely think this is a winnable game. Now, look, I guess with the ankle injury, we'll see if Jordan Poole plays. But if not, I'm looking at Kispert being that guy, man. I want to see a good shooting night from Kispert stepping into the two guard role, man. Because I feel like that could be a good spot for him starting unit without Jordan Poole. But I mean, against the Hawks, it was not. But yeah, as far as development, looking at the young guys, I want to see a better offensive showing for Denny Avdia, man. I think this is definitely a game where he can eat. Same thing with Bilal if he played. I definitely want to see him eat. So, yeah, this is a winnable game, man. I mean, as much as it pains me to say that it's just as bad as we are, I mean, we're probably the two worst teams in the NBA. But like I said, my biggest thing this year is I know we're not going to be a very good team, but I want to see the culture of playing hard. I want to see them play hard. And, that's pretty much what I'm asking for them. But yeah, obviously, looking at the development of the young guys, man, Bilal and Denny, man, I want to see them being more aggressive. And somebody in the comments kind of said this comment too. They want to see Johnny Davis more aggressive. Oh, I totally agree, man. I think that with Johnny Davis with his minutes, man, I would like to see him get around 15 minutes. And I'd like to see him be more aggressive with driving the lane. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for against the Pistons, man.
Yeah, definitely. Johnny Davis getting some more minutes. Shamet being consistent, getting his value up as much as he can. I mean, we're not going to get more than really a second-round pick, but still keep his value up. Same thing with Tyus Jones. I want to see a bounce-back game for Tyus Jones. The Pistons are one of the worst teams in guarding point guards in the league. They give up a lot of points. They're also one of the worst teams in giving up points in the paint. They're 21st in point paints allowed per game. So we got to rebound. We got to force turnovers. We got to get some deflections, get some steals, force some turnovers. They turn the ball over a lot. So let's see if we can get some fast breaks going, some points off turnovers. I know typically we don't force turnovers like that, but can Blau get some deflections? Denny, same thing. Tyus get some deflections, different things like that, pushing the pace, defending the three-point line. The Pistons they're not a good three-point shooting team as well. But rebound is going to be a huge thing. I'm not sure if Jalen Duren is playing, because I know he's missed a couple of games.
I think he's game time decision.
Yeah, so he might be playing. I'm trying to look and see if he played the last time that they played, because I know they just played recently. But Jalen Duren, he's a heck of a rebounder. Isaiah Stewart, he plays hard. Asar Compton, the rookie, he rebounds the ball well. Of course, Cade Cunningham is a scorer, so he's going to be a tough guard. We don't do well against point guards that can really score much either. The Pistons, they just gave up 136 points to the Pacers. Cade Cunningham had 31 points in the last game, so he's a guy to look out for sure. They got Bagley, Isaiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey, of course, had 25. He's a guy that was disgruntled. Jalen Duren did play. He had 13 points and 13 boards, so he had a double-double off the bench. So he probably will easily get a double-double against the Wizards tomorrow night. So those are some guys certainly to look after. And Alec Burks can score. He can get at Marcus Sasser. He's a rookie that comes off the bench. He can score too. Already talked about Asar, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, Killian Hayes. He's been up and down in his career. So, and then James Wiseman. We'll see if he plays. He's collected a bunch of DNPs. So that's a guy that, of course, you would like to see in DC. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets to play tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm still on the James Wiseman train, man. I'm definitely want to see him come to DC, man. But again, looking at the roster, their starting five is solid. But I think that we have a chance to win this game. You hit the nail on the head. Rebounding is definitely a big thing with us. Protecting the paint, obviously. Being more aggressive driving the lane, because, again, they send a lot of people to the line. So, that's why I said that I would like to see Bilal, Denny, really everybody attack the paint. Definitely get to the line, get them in foul trouble. But again, looking at their bench, man, Alec Burks is decent. And I'm looking at it per ESPN, it says Jalen Duren is ready to rock, man. So he should be playing at the 5. But yeah, I mean, they got a solid starting 5, but their bench ain't looking too good. I mean, Killian Hayes and Alec Burks is about to, Marvin Bagley, but I don't see too much out of Marvin Bagley. So I'm looking at our bench, man. If our bench can show up, I think this is definitely a dub in my book, man.
Yeah, the bench is going to be huge. Gallo didn't play last game. We'll see if he plays. He rested on the back-to-back. But you're going to get some comments here. Matt said, I don't know who we're taking for. Then Lamborghini. Liam born in DC says a center from France named Alex Sarr. Yes, we talked about him a few times already. Shout out to Vlogher. She says, hey fellas, hope you had a great holiday with the fam. Yes, same to you. I definitely had a great holiday. How about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I ate and drank way too much. So
right. It was Brandon's birthday the other day as well. So you guys can definitely comment happy birthday or happy belated to Brandon as well in the comment section. And let's see, what other comments do we have? Yar Breezy said, I missed the John Wall era.
Yeah. I agree with you, but
you're right. Let's get a couple of comments here. The unknown ism says Johnny Davis 28 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 10 points in the last 2 games. ... He's on the roll.
I see what you did there. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I definitely think that he should get more minutes. I mean, I guess with Johnny Davis, you got to look at certain stats, and that's where your victory with him is, man. I mean, he's a good rebounding guard, and he can defend, man. It's just his offensive game. I think he needs to be more aggressive. Definitely when he gets minutes, I want to see a lot more aggression from Johnny Davis driving the lane, offensively. But yeah, you're not going. It's really too small of a sample size to really judge Johnny Davis because he hasn't been given consistent minutes. So I agree with you.
Yeah, the shot is kind of broken right now. I don't know what the coaching staff did with his shooting for him, but you look at warm-ups and it certainly has changed. That went viral on social media yesterday or in warm-ups. But he's playing with effort, man. He's rebounding the ball well. He's playing hard. He's defending Damian Lillard in the first game. Of course, Dame put up 31 points, but Johnny Davis going out there trying to guard Dame. So he's one of the few defensive-minded guys that we have on the roster, if we have any at all, really. But he's one of the guys that's going out there looking to play defense. The offensive game still has a long way to go as far as, knocking down threes, getting by guys, creating a shot for himself, or, double moves, crossovers, and, trying to get another move other than just, a mid-range jumper. So he still has a lot of room for improvement and development for sure. But I'm happy that he got some of the minutes and played hard. I just didn't like that he missed that alley-oop dunk or layup. But let's see here. Any more comments? So anything else you wanted to get to? Ain't no half step said, how did Poole get a DNP warming up? That's what I said too. I really don't know. That is something that I don't know. He sprained his ankle. I don't know if he did it in warm-ups or what, but I hope he's okay, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. That's what I'm hoping for.
It's hard to tell, man. He probably tripped up looking at a baddie or something. It's hard to tell.
Right, yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know it said was a guy. Got all the show stuff. Yeah. It's been a tough season so far. It's been a tough season so far for sure.
yeah.
Right. The Wizards do play against. They are coaching. West will be coaching against Monty Williams tomorrow night, so that would be a good matchup. Monty Williams he coached the Suns to the NBA Finals a few years back, so this will be a good coaching matchup for sure. They're two bad teams, but we'll see who gets the W tomorrow night. Sheldon T says, agree. Would like to see Denny more aggressive with this game. Was expecting his numbers to go up more than they have so far this season. Yeah, this is a good opportunity against a bad defensive team. They're going to push the pace. It's going to be an up and down game for sure. So let's see how Denny does. The Bucks game didn't play too well. Second game played a little bit better. Yeah. But let's see if he can be aggressive as he was in the first part of the season. I mean, it's still early in the season, but I think the first couple of games, I like his aggression. Let's see if he can go back to that. He did have a fast break dunk. I did like that. But let's see if he can have some consistency there.
Now, you made a good comment as far as coaching, man, because it's games like this where it's going to highlight really where Wes Unseld is, because this is going to be a game of coaching. Because look, Monty Williams, man, look, he's a coach who he knows what he's doing. He's definitely a highly sought after coach, man. So it was surprising seeing him go to Detroit and not to a contender, but coming up from Phoenix. But there's games like this where it's going to highlight what the good things and the bad things of Wes Unseld. Because it's definitely going to be a game of coaching going against Monty Williams. So I think in my opinion, man, that's one of the matchups that I really want to see is the battle of coaching between him and Monty. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that is going to be a good matchup because it's really going to come down to the third quarter. Who makes adjustments? Of course, yeah. West does really, really well in the first half. We'll be up by 15, 20 points. But a 20-point lead does not matter for the Wizards at all, or Wes Unseld Jr. But what's your prediction for tomorrow night? Who you got winning? Because this actually is going to be a competitive game.
I'm gonna rock with the Wizards, man. We break the streak. Right. I'm gonna say 109, 103. Wizards win.
109, 103. Okay.
And I'm gonna predict a 30 piece from Jordan Poole if he plays.
Okay. It's certainly doable. I'm trying to look at the last couple of games the Pistons have played against point guards. Halliburton had 26 and 10. The game before that, let me just pull this up. They played against the Nuggets. In that game, put the numbers for that one.
Did you see the 3-point shot that Tyrese Halliburton hit? He had an Oscar Thompson slide.
Yeah, I did see that.
Ooh,
I did see
man.
that. Yeah, Reggie Jackson had 21 against the Pistons. And, he's starting now because Jamal Murray is out. But that's just telling you that guards typically put up a lot of points on the Pistons. They played the Raptors, and Schroeder had 17. So I'm expecting no less from Tyus Jones. Expecting a big game from Jordan Poole as well. So Reggie Jackson put up 21. Schroeder put up 17. Halliburton put up 26. So point guards feast on the Pistons. So we need a big game from our backcourt. And I got us losing. I got us losing by 3. It's going to be close again. Kyle Kuzma, homecoming. I want to say this is in Detroit.
Yeah.
So, it is in Detroit. So, this is a homecoming game for Kuzma. So, I know he's going to try to show up and show out. Garland had 28 points. So, point guards are feasting on the Pistons. I think you guys get my point now. But, I got us losing by 3. And Kyle Kuzma is a 3 at the end.
So, they still don't get the dub with you?
No, I just think they're going to find a way to lose in the clutch.
Yeah. I can see it now. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, like I said, it's not gonna be so. I think this is a big coaching game, man. I think this is all. Xavier Young said, "Can we send Unseld Jr. to the go-go?" I mean, we'll see, man. I think that we talk a lot about the vets on the expiring deals, and appreciate you. And the young guys, man. We don't talk enough about. Look, Wes Unseld, he's coaching for his job too. And I think it's matchups like this to really showcase whether he could be the future or not, man, because if you can't win against a coach like Monty Williams, man, then what are we talking about? So I think this is the highlight of the game, is that we're both really bad teams, but certain factors like the young guys versus ours, because Kay Cunningham, man, you can't stop an opposing point guard. What is his future in Detroit? So there's a lot of question marks with both organizations, especially Detroit, because they've been in the rebuild for a minute. And you have yet to see really any kind of getting anything back from a lot of these young guys. So it's an intriguing matchup, man, against two teams that are very, very similar in their makeup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before we wrap up, hopefully the Wizards get a win for Brandon's birthday. How was your birthday? What'd you do for your birthday?
Oh, man, I appreciate everybody, man, with the birthday wishes, man. I just shit out with the family, man. Ate a little bit, just like Thanksgiving. Ate a little bit, drink a little bit, just enjoy myself. So definitely appreciate everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell. Hell to the Wizards. Peace.